it was people telling my mom about their financial struggles during the recession that was the impetus for starting the foundation when we started it. So I think my mom officially started it in like 2012, 11. And there have been a lot of people that have talked to her during the recession, like, oh my God, I'm really struggling because of the economy, things aren't going well because of the economy, like that. And my mom, being the no BS woman that she is, said, it's not the economy, silly. And people are like, what do you mean? Are you blaming me? Are you victim blaming for my situation? Look at everybody losing jobs and homes, and you're gonna tell me that it's not the economy why I'm struggling? And she'll be like, nope. Some people would get really offended, and they've probably done the conversation, and some people got really curious, like, really, is there something that I could do, something that I can understand that will not make me be at the effect of this scary thing of the economy? Maybe, okay, if there's something I can do, I'm willing to learn. So my mom started inviting people over to the house just like this. It was either here or in the backyard, and she would just start talking about everything she knows. And I guess at this point it's a good time to put in, how does she know everything that she knows? Well, I really like telling this story in the house so that I don't really have to brag about the high end. Kind of, explains itself. But her first house that she lived in was made of dirt floor and cardboard for a roof in Mexico. And her mom never went to school. My abuela never went to school. She never learned English. But she came here and ended up becoming a multimillionaire. And my mom was her little right-hand woman on that entire journey. And so long story short, what my abuela did is she started off by buying things in bulk, like rice and beans and things like that in bulk, and then selling it off in pieces and taking the profits from that, starting a food stand. That food stand became like a restaurant. That restaurant moved to like the center of the town. And so by the time my mom was 8 years old, she was the full-time dishwasher and cashier. And she was the one that had to get all the groceries for the restaurant. So she'd be sent with a long list and a short budget. And she would have to make it work. And then they eventually came here. I think my mom was like 11 or so. And again, they had a restaurant that she worked in. And then my grandmother started buying real estate. Don't even know how she got the wherewithal to start, but she had commercial real estate, she had residential, she had apartment buildings, and that's how she made it. And my mom, after high school, started working at a law firm where she was a bookkeeper, had my sister and I, and then went back to school to get her degree in business administration and accounting. And we can't even remember, but she might have gotten the minor in economics, either that or she just took a lot of classes in it, and Latin American studies. She was in school for a very long time, until I was like 10 years old. She really liked being in school. So after that, she took the CPA exam, the public accounts exam, which we bicker about to this day about whether the bar exam is harder than the CPA exam, because I'm a lawyer, and so we have to think that we take the hardest test. But she says people that take both tests say hers is harder. Fine. Okay. So she did that, and then went back into the business that she had helped my father start, which my abuela had given him the seed money to start. And so that is the business that they worked in together that gave us most everything that we have. And then when she was 50, she decided to retire and devote herself to this foundation so she can pass along the knowledge that she had accumulated through life and through school and through her experience as a businesswoman. We run this foundation together, and she has 2 commercial buildings, one in Pasadena, one in Arcadia. That is her work, basically. And then we run this foundation so that together, because she has all of the information, all the knowledge, but when she started teaching it in front of people, she too would get up here and be like, oh wait, I want people to have this knowledge, but I'm not sure I'm the one that wants to give it to them. So let me recruit my daughter who loves talking. I say I like teaching, make it sound a little bit better, but let's be real, I just like talking. to teach this information. So just for background purposes, I am a recovering or retired lawyer, whichever term you prefer. And then last year became the executive director of this foundation. And then at the same time, and related to this, I do 3 podcasts a week. 2 of which are political in nature and 1 of which is legal. So in this conversation, we're going to have a really holistic conversation about the economy in terms of sort of what it means academically, but also the political influence and how it affects us day to day. Sound good? Okay, cool. Got the part about talking about us over with. All right, so the economy. It's a term that we use all the time, but have you ever thought, like, what does that actually mean? Like if a 10-year-old kid asked you, hey, what's the economy? How would you answer that question?
Depends on the offer and the demand.
Depends on?
Offer and demand.
So, right? Okay, so those are economic terms. The supply and demand, that's what drives the economy, yeah. How would you explain what the economy is?
It's not a science.
It's not a science, that's a good description. Yeah, like what is it? What is this thing?
A really big lemonade stand.
That's actually a great description, yeah, because it includes everything. It's the wealth of a certain area over a certain period of time. So we usually do it by country, we do it by state, or some cities like LA can, have their own economy over a period of time, usually a year. But we're so obsessed with the economy that we monitor it like day to day, and certainly quarter by quarter. And it's really the output of the